Hello my friends, for today we have some minor updates, but they are very important. Firstly, let's go to the Bakhmut area and obviously to the timeline. It was yesterday, it is today. Ukrainian army moved by several meters. But let me tell you why this movement was possible. Russia actually tried to counterattack our positions over here but failed with their attempt. We even have the video confirmation about it. I will publish it on my Telegram channel. Russia tried to use their infantry plus some of the vehicles and they were ambushed by Ukrainian forces. Plus we went on the Russian controlled territory, destroying their ammunition depot. According to the comments of the video, there was quite a large ammunition depot just in the forest line in that particular area. So it's the great success of Ukrainian army. If we go southbound to Avdiivka, there is also the success of Ukrainian army, however without the frontline changes. Just at the line of Avdiivka village, Russia lost one of the tanks. Why it was there alone, no one knows. Again, Ukraine used the drones and artillery to target this one. About the other parts of the Bakhmut area, for today there are no changes or there is no update from the military map. However, according to the information which is coming from the front lines, Kadyrov sent his Akhmat battalion to the Bakhmut area. Russians have to use Akhmat because they are running out of the man force in this area. I do not expect the Akhmat forces to fight as bravely as the Wagner forces. We call Akhmat the TikTok battalion, but still they have some ammunition. They may fight physically. We know that they are somewhere in this place, however they were not seen in actual fight yet. Before, the Akhmat battalion was in Marinka and there they had losses. About the south front, everything is standstill except of this direction. Let's go and check the changes. It was yesterday, it is today. Ukraine tried to counterattack. However, Russia unfortunately repelled the Ukrainian attack. We took a few of the meters, that's it. According to the drone footages, Russia used the thermal shells in this area to stop the Ukrainian attack, and for now the attack was stopped. As for the Kherson direction, there are no any changes, even though the counterattack was announced by some of the Ukrainian military officials. Before we go to the other news for today, let me tell you about the sponsor and the partner of my channel. It is the Atlas VPN. They have the special deal introduced for my followers, where you can get the Atlas VPN for just $170 per month, plus you may have 6 months for free. It is the best offer on the market for the premium VPNs. I personally got it for the higher price, so I recommend you to use this discount and join the club. Why do I use the Atlas VPN all the time? Let me explain. I tried many VPNs and decided to stop on Atlas VPN. Basically, they have what I need: fantastic coding of the military standard data encryption, awesome speed. No matter what internet connection do I use, it has never been slowed down when I turn on the Atlas VPN. Actually, it's constantly on. I use it on my iPad, my iPhone and my laptop. And I can access that from the single account. They really have the good support of the multiple devices. I'm not the native English speaker, so then I want to study some English. I usually go to Netflix to watch the Friends series, but somehow it's not available here, so I switch the Atlas VPN on to watch my favorite series. They have fantastic dialogues, good for studying. And now, my friends, please check out my personal link in the video description just below, where you can get the Atlas VPN Premium for just $170 per month, plus you'll have 6 months for free. It is the best offer, so hurry up to join the club. Alright, again Russia tried to attack the Ukrainian forces in Avdiivka. This time they used more BTRs and more tanks. Just on this image, I'm sorry about this watermark, I cannot get rid of it because it's the only video I was able to find on the internet. So here we have one of the very fast armored vehicle on the front. Probably it carries the demining equipment. Also, we have lots of the BTRs out there, BTRs after BTRs. So totally around 13 of the vehicles, probably some of them are tanks, but mostly BTRs. As typically as usual, they went to the place as far as possible. They landed the infantry, and infantry tried to get the Ukrainian positions, having the backup from the tanks and BTRs. This part of the video was also shown on the Russian publics, how the infantry advancing towards the Ukrainian positions, how they win something. Definitely they advanced towards the forest line out here. There are some of the trenches, and the Russian infantry took the positions in those trenches. However, later on, Ukraine used the drone tools and also mortars with artillery to get rid of the Russian infantry in those trenches. Finally, Russians had to retreat, but not all of them were able to do so. Here you see the Ukrainian Leopard 2 tank. It was modified with Contact 1 armor. You can spot it on the sides and on the turret. I believe it is also over here. It helps against the Russian drones. The New York Times says that Ukraine changed the tactics of the counteroffensive operation on the south. In the article, they say that Ukraine lost 20% of the equipment that is used for this new offensive operation. Because of those losses, Ukraine started to use the artillery systems much more often. And basically with that use of ammo, Ukraine would have run out of the artillery shells very soon. That is why the United States of America approved the cluster shells for Ukraine. Yes, we also have the supplyment of the normal shells, but it takes time. The main task for Ukrainian army is to weaken the Russian defense lines by cutting the supplies, destroying the ammunition depots and command centers. Russian commanders start to say that it's getting hard as hell to fight against the Ukrainian army on the south. And finally, we'll penetrate the Russian main defense lines on the south, and we'll get to Crimea. I'm sure about it. Today there was the video published by one of the Wagner commanders. His call sign is Berserk. I shared this video on my Telegram channel. Well, you may recognize this guy on the face. I wouldn't say that he is really hiding it. So what he says that the Wagner army is mostly deployed in Belarus nowadays, but there is the great support from some of the officers in the Russian army of the Wagner movement, and he said that we should be ready for the changes in the Russian Federation. So nothing is over, he says. It's kind of interesting. We'll see what might happen in the nearby future. We actually have the confirmation that the Wagner column, there were many of the trucks, lorries and other vehicles went to Belarus yesterday. It's interesting that they also have the engineering equipment in their convoy. According to the report of the British intelligence, Russia has the deep problems in their military command and leadership. They mentioned the well-known incident with the Russian General Ivan Popov, who actually spoke truth about the condition of the Russian army on the south, because he was the main general commander of the 58th Combined Army on the south. Plus today we have the report that one more Russian general was dismissed from his position for the same action. His name is General Vladimir Severiltsov, Major General. He was removed from his post as a commander of 106 Guards Airborne Division. Airborne forces on the Bakhmut direction. I would say it's the most capable unit they have out there. So there is not just a conflict between the Wagner army and the Russian regular army. Now there is the conflict within the Russian regular army itself. Those are the great news for Ukraine. Plus, indeed, it cannot continue for a long time. This system in Russia, the military system, is not operationable. Still, I don't think that it will happen in a nearby future, unfortunately. To some political news, Elon Musk again shows that he is biased against helping Ukraine. He condemns the supplyment of the cluster munitions to Ukrainian side and says nothing about the Russian side that uses the cluster munition since the beginning of the war in Ukraine. Here I just see his stupid attempt to blame the current White House administration for the wrongdoing, before the election year. The UK Defence Minister Ben Wallace says that he will resign from his position then his term is over. I think that it will happen this autumn. He've done everything for this war not to start. He went to Russia, he spoke with Shoigu, with the Russian leaders. They assured him that they will not start this war, but finally Russia started it. So, Ben Wallace, thank you for your great support of Ukraine. The South Korean president attended Ukraine, but even after his visit, Korea will not supply weaponry to the Ukrainian side, just some of the defense equipment plus humanitarian supplies. India, together with France, will develop some sort of the plan to stop the war in Ukraine. So far, we don't know what we are talking about because Le Monde, the journal that published this information, has no details about the deal. They only say that it will be the different deal that China proposed before. Indian leader doesn't want to be some sort of the mediator between Russia and Ukraine. US Secretary Antony Blinken says that Russia is getting weaker and weaker. That is happening because of the Putin's action. Russia is getting more isolated day by day. They're unable to sell their gas and oil as before. Nevertheless, Blinken said Putin still believes that he is unbeatable and he can win this war. And I think because of it, this war may continue for quite a long time. About the F-16 pilot training, Europe still waits for the permission from the United States of America to start the training of Ukrainian pilots. Together, 11 nations are in coalition of the training led by Denmark and Netherlands. So we need the green light and we need it as soon as possible. I think that we'll have it very soon. My friends, I'm gonna keep you updated on situation in Ukraine. Don't forget to press the like to this video and also don't forget to check my personal link in the video description just below where you may have the Atlas VPN Premium with astonishing discount valid especially for my followers. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are and have a great time.